Well, this is a very exciting day. About 18 months ago, I drove the Lamborghini Revuelto and I loved it. Finally, a Lamborghini that I fit in, that's comfortable, that's kind of easy to drive at slow speeds, but was still ballistic and mad and slightly unhinged at high speeds. I think I said in the video, it's one of my favorite ever Lamborghinis. Now today, I get to drive this, its new baby brother, the Temerario. Still not sure how I feel about that name, but everything else really intrigues me because they've put the same hybrid technology that was so fantastic in the Revuelto into this smaller package. Yes, we've got rid of the iconic V10, but in its place is a new V8 that revs to 10,000 RPM. Got these new sharper looks, all new interior, infotainment system, lots of things that I think could be really exciting. And I like a Lambo these days. I never used to say that, but things like the Revuelto and the Urus is good. I just, go Lambo. So I'm really excited for the day ahead. And we're here in Yorkshire. It's sunny, it's cold, but it's sunny. And as is tradition on this channel, whenever I get the keys to a brand new supercar, I'm going to give this thing the ultimate test by taking it to get a coffee. I've got a tip from a local for a really fantastic local coffee shop. To get there, I've got to go to some fantastic roads in the Yorkshire moors and the Yorkshire Dales. So yeah, it's going to be win. And by the end, we'll know whether the new Temerario is the half-price Revuelto or a massive disappointment. Let's go find out. Well, here we go. Just like with the Revuelto, it's got a real sensation of space in here. So much room for activities. They've even got fairly decent headroom, but still this very highly raked windscreen, sort of dashboard that just extends away from it. It feels like the front end of the car is really far away. I mean, that's been in place since the Gallardo. It's quite a unique sensation. It takes some time to get used to, especially when you start driving briskly. Got this very nice floating sort of infotainment screen here, lots of space underneath for your phones and things. Still got that iconic sort of flip-up cover for the start-stop button, giving a bit of theatre. It's even a passenger display now, something we've been familiar with Ferraris and stuff, but haven't exactly seen on Lambos before. Loads of carbon fibre everywhere, sound system, things like that. And then quite a complicated steering wheel, again copied over from the Revuelto, but luckily with physical buttons, no haptic buttons, which is great because this thing has 900 odd horsepower. We're going to want to be concentrating on the road ahead, not kind of like, what do I push? That is very good. And I'm sure there was some logic behind that. Ferrari, take note, or at least they have taken note, haven't they? Because they've now gone back to buttons. But yeah, thank God Lambo weren't messing around with touch things. Now I wonder if we fire this thing into life, it's probably going to automatically start up in hybrid mode, which could be a bit disappointing. Foot on the brake. Oh no! Ooh, there's an engine. There's an engine. V8 engine. It's going to take some time getting used to that today, aren't we? That's not. That's not a nice noise. I feel like I've just started a diesel. Why is that so chattery? But look, we're going to give it the benefit of the doubt because it does rev up to 10,000 RPM. It will come to life, I'm sure. But yeah, it's going to be the big about this car in general. But look, this is all quite nice. Go on, Lambo, they're not messing around these days. This is the stuff that I was saying is so, for me, exciting about this new era of Lamborghini because, well, they're cars that you could actually live with. Anyway, plenty to get into and coffee to purchase, so let's go. Well, initial impressions are pretty good, people. It is lovely on the road, this car, but I guess we shouldn't be surprised. I think the Temerario had kind of less room for improvement over the Huracan than the Revuelto did over the Aventador, because, well, the Aventador was fairly crap at the end of its life. It felt outdated. It was really bad at slow speed, mundane tasks, and not a car you really wanted to take on a long distance road trip. Whilst the Huracan was always quite complete. You could daily drive a Huracan if you wanted to. Okay, the boot was kind of small, and the cabin was a little cramped, the seats were uncomfortable, it was noisy, but it was very usable. And this just feels like a bit of an improvement on that, rather than the revolution that the Revuelto felt like over the Events Tour. But yeah, it's quiet in here, the ride feels quite comfortable, these seats are fairly nicely cushioned. I've got Apple CarPlay going, I had my music on. It's taken me a minute just to kind of really familiarise myself with some of these controls, but in general it's quite intuitive and I am very happy. Even my visibility is pretty good. Okay, if I sit up straight, my vision out the front is like 70% windscreen, 30% roofline, but that's because I'm too tall for these cars. In general, it's really nice. And I know these aren't things that I should be celebrating about a Lamborghini. I should be talking about this crazy new engine and the fire-breathing nature and it's insane, it's a true poster car for the road. But I am a Ferrari Porsche guy and I'm old and I like the fact that this car can kind of do it all. Well, we don't know if it can do it all. Maybe we're going to find out later that the dynamic stuff is not as great as it used to be, but I suspect the 900 horsepower will make up for any potential lack of emotion from this engine. Anyway, so far, so good. Got another 35 or 40 minutes to the good roads. I might even put cruise control on. Welcome to North York Moors National Park. It is very windy up here. I mean, like there's still some snow on the ground. Don't let the blue skies deceive you. It's definitely still spring, not summer. But I've come up here because lots of long, open roads with great visibility. And I think that's what I'm going to need with the 900 odd horsepower this car has. I've started to stretch this thing's legs. And yeah, I mean, the long roads up, then they're of no use to me. I need a runway, a jumbo jet runway. But before we get into driving dynamics, I just want to talk about the looks a little bit, because I think maybe the looks of the Temerario have been a bit controversial, and I'm still a tad undecided. There's something a little AI, I think, in some of the lines, as if someone jumped on ChatGPT and went design a Lamborghini for 2026, and there you go. It sort of saves itself around the rear. We'll come back to that in a moment. It's all very functional, the design though. For example, you've got these big gaps in front of the headlights. You can stick your fingers through. That's all aiding with airflow and cooling. This car has the optional Allegerita package, the lightweight package, which adds a load of carbon fiber and costs a load more money. I like the wheels. I don't know. As I say, it saves itself around the back, so let's go back there. It's just all drama at the rear of the Temerario, loads of carbon fibre, but this high up sort of central exit exhaust, kind of extended carbon fibre rear diffuser. I mean, look at the cutaways behind the rear tyres. This thing is 100% a rock thrower. Ben, the cameraman's a bit worried about doing tracking shots later because he's convinced he's going to get a chipped windscreen, and I think you might, Ben, so invoice me for that. But yeah, you don't want to follow one of these cars on the road because it's just going to throw rocks at the cars behind. Very cool. By the way, you might actually notice we're on winter tyres today. Initially, I was disappointed by that. Now that I can see there's snow up here, I'm quite happy. But yeah, just loads of vents and gills and outlets, and it's just, it's kind of mad. It's like they just kept going. Put more! Even up here on the actual sort of deck lid above the engine bay, I think that can only be removed with a special key. I haven't found a button to pop that open, but obviously you can just about see the engine underneath it. It's just a bit mad, and I think Lambo should be a little bit mad. So whilst the front is perhaps a little AI and a little unconvincing, the rear, well, yes, makes up for it. Anyway, I'm freezing, I can't feel my fingers, so let's jump inside because I want to talk through driving modes. Now, like any modern car, there are kind of 1,000 ways to set this thing up before you drive or whilst you drive. I mentioned when we first got in, you've got this slightly overly complicated steering wheel, but there are 4 main toggles that you need to pay attention to when it comes to sort of, performance. The top left is your driving modes. And there are 4/5 driving modes. City, which is essentially largely EV mode, Street, Sport, Corsa, and then Corsa with everything off. That's the like psycho crazy mode. The top right is all about the battery, the hybrid part of the powertrain. You can choose to either be recharging the battery, utilizing the battery in conjunction with the engine, or maximum performance, utilizing the battery for ultimate performance. There's a button in the middle called EV, which is if you want to literally just creep around in electric mode if you have enough charge. Bottom left, think of it as Ferrari's bumpy road mode. That's allowing you to control the dampers, either soft or hard, and you can use that in any of the driving mode settings. And then bottom right is drift mode. This thing, of course, all-wheel drive, but you're able to play with traction control and drift mode to allow a certain amount of slip, rear wheel bias, etc, etc. Lift, sorry, is also bottom left. And, oh, I'm forgetting thrust mode. I don't actually even know what that is. I pushed this checkered flag in the middle and it said thrust mode not available. I was like, well, cool, I'll use that later, I suppose. So yeah, lots going on. And as you can imagine, all of this does really affect the characteristics of this car. Let's get into that out on the road. Now in Strada and Sport mode, this car really reminds me of the new 911 Turbo S and the Maserati MC20. Now, in some ways, that's a compliment. Both of those cars, unbelievably fast, really good cars. It's also a little bit of an insult because neither of those cars have much emotion, much personality, largely due to their engines. They're unbelievably powerful and get you down the road very quickly, but don't exactly make you go like, wee-hee-hee, wah-ba-ba-da, wah-ba-ba-da. And whilst I said I appreciate what Lamborghini are doing these days by making their cars more usable, more comfortable for people like me, I just don't want them to be Lamborghinis. Otherwise, what's the point? I'll just go and buy something else. And the Revuelto was able to do it all, was able to be the crazy V12, flaming, shouting, big flagship Lamborghini that's also comfortable, spacious, and now usable. This thing, in these lesser driving modes, just feels a little clinical. Look, it's really fast, like batshit crazy fast. But in the same way that a Turbo S is, it feels just very effective. There's not a lot of flair, you're just able to get down the road so quickly. And it is kind of comfortable, and it's sort of progressive. But look, if I come down through the gears now, let the revs climb, it's just a noise. There is an engine propelling you down the road very quickly, but I don't know. Even the 10,000 RPM red line doesn't save you. Firstly, because you can never get there. It is a bit disappointing because, well, in second gear at 9,000 RPM, you're basically doing 90 miles an hour. So, fat chance, essentially, which means you're kind of knocking around at the 4, 5, 6,000 RPM mark if you're lucky, which is obviously fine, but you're not really getting into the true potential of this engine. So long story short, in Strada and Sport mode, I don't know, it's good, but I just don't think it's spectacular or silly enough to be a truly desirable Lamborghini. But luckily, there is a saving grace, and it's called Corsa mode. If you get in this thing and you're missing the Lamborghini from the Temerario, use this little red toggle on the steering wheel, select Corsa mode, and hold on for dear life. promise I'm not exaggerating, this thing is terrifying in Corsa mode in a way that only a Lamborghini can or should terrify you. Oh my God. I do not need a car to be this fast. Like, I just don't. The last time I remember thinking a car was this unhinged was the McLaren 765 LT. That car shouldn't be on the road, nor should this. It's too much power and it is too frenetic. The way this thing can just take off is mind-altering, but that's not what's scaring me. It's the way the whole car moves around. It's smaller than Revuelto. The front end is just sort of manic. It's got light steering, a super darty front end that means that I just feel like I'm holding on for dear life. I am not on top of this car, and I don't feel like I ever will be. There's so much happening, and it's such a pace. The gears smack you in the back in the way that the old E-gear Lamborghini gearboxes did. They just smack you, and it's so rewarding, but it's like, oh my God, and when it happens, you can't really concentrate on what's happening in front of you, and then the revs keep climbing up, like, what RPM am I at? I don't know. Boom, smash a gear. I'm gonna die. I am gonna die. This car will kill people because it's such unnecessary performance. It's addictive, but it's sketchy. Like, I am sure with time you would start to learn how to get usable power out of this powertrain on the public road. Drive the car in Corsa in a way that it makes your heart race but doesn't scare the bejesus out of you, because right now that's all it's doing. I am scared. You've noticed I've dropped the pace because I actually can't talk to the camera and drive this car briskly in Corsa mode. My brain is not powerful enough. So it's kind of amazing, but also like, and I don't think the Revuelto did that. I remember I drove the Revuelto also on winter tires on a bit of a grubby day in Italy on a narrow, twisty road, but I could connect with it somehow. It made me feel alive without having to do psychotic speeds. This thing, because of the power band, the abilities of it, but also the dartiness and directness of it, you have to do the psychotic stuff to feel lively. Because like this, just pulling along, it's a bit, and I actually would rather be in the Turbo S, maybe not the Maserati, but because they're a tad more complete. For example, my back is starting to ache a little bit, and I felt like these seats aren't quite as good as I first thought. So if I'm only going to do this and just go really fast, kind of low RPMage, put me in something a bit more comfortable. However, if I do want to be a Lamborghini driver and be mental, then Corsa mode allows me to drive in a way that honestly not many other cars can. Or there's a corner, the thing moves around on the brakes, it's just so alive. But it's, okay, this is going to be cliched, I actually nearly said this without it being ironic, but it's like riding a bucking bull. Yes, I was going to say that. It's bull riding. I mean, here we go. I've got to overtake two cars. Oh, done. It's just so much speed. Okay, I can dial these dampers back. That helps a little bit settling things down, but still, it's a lot, people. It's a lot, and I'm not sure I want to be having to drive this fast to get this level of emotion. I just think it's, like I say, it's dangerous. It is dangerous. I would prefer to be in a Huracan, getting way more emotion, having way more sparks, having my heart racing at a lot less pace. But I also think in a Revuelto, I think I need to go back and drive the Revuelto, but from memory, it's just more of a sense of occasion. It's the big flagship Lambo. Just carries more weight, literally, and also metaphorically. This thing, it's like a supercharged, turbocharged go-kart. Like a little bumblebee. Like, calm down. But once again, here we are. I have calmed down, and it's just a bit... I don't know how I feel about this thing, because there's something so exhilarating going so close to death and surviving. Slightly addictive, but I am just aware that, yeah, death is around the corner. If I want to, oh, there's a bump in the road, oh my God. Yeah, no, no thank you, no thank you. Sport, please, sport, go away, sport. Which button do I push? Get out of Corsa! I'm hot, how do I do the air conditioning? God, to be honest, I think the last thing I need right now is a coffee. It's going to send me into like a anxiety-induced heart attack. But, you know, I feel a bit bad complaining about how fast a new Lamborghini is. It's not really what this channel's about, is it? I mean, it is amazing and I love it and it's fantastic. It's just a bit too much. It's that same thing that we've all been saying for the last few years, which is new cars, they're just too fast and a little bit too good. The thing is, this is so close to Rev Vuelta performance. It's only 100 horsepower less. Surely they could have made it 300 horsepower less, a 700 odd horsepower thing, and it still would have had a place and maybe been a bit more usable. I don't know. I mean, it's not unusable. You drive it slowly. I don't really know what I'm thinking. Maybe I do need that coffee just to chill out, and it is still windy. So let's get off this hill, go down there, get fuel for the car and for me. Well, this is Roost Coffee and Roastery in Malton, which according to the sign at the entrance of the village is Yorkshire's food capital. But most importantly, it's just 20 minutes from the North York moors that we were just rolling around in. So if you want to get out, do some driving and then stop off for a coffee, this place seems to be a vibe. It was recommended by Jack on Instagram, so thank you, Jack. The coffee, which is roasted in-house, yeah, it's an absolute vibe, even in a takeaway cup with oat milk trying to ruin it. So yeah, big shout out, and thank God there's parking spaces right outside. I've started to get used to the looks of the Temerario as the day's gone on. It still looks a little bit AI CGI to me, but I'm coming around to it, and it's got impact, which is the main thing. The amount of people that have been coming over and talking to me whilst the car's parked just there, and that's what a Lambo is supposed to do, right? Have that kind of impact. So yeah, I don't know if, do Lambo people do cars and coffee runs? Like, is that a thing? I feel like it's such a Porsche community thing, but anyway, I'm living my life today, and what a glorious day it has been. Important information for the coffee lovers out there, this car does have cup holders. Actually a very similar setup to the 991 generation of the Porsche 911. I do feel like maybe they stole that system. It's a little compartment above the glove box. You push to open a little flap, and then there are two cup holders that fold out. It's literally identical to that setup. But anyway, very effective. How do I reflect on my time with this car then? Oof, I don't really know. I touched on the fact that the looks have grown on me, but I can't get past the fact that it just feels too much for the road, and then when you're doing this, too sedate to be a Lamborghini, or to be a better choice than things like a turbo, or more importantly, a 296 GTB. That's the car I haven't really mentioned yet. It's the obvious rival to this thing. And most interestingly, they obviously downsized the engine in that too, from a V8 to a V6, and hybridized it, but somehow you can just connect with it a bit more, and that's not because I'm a Ferrari guy. It just has a slightly more charming personality when you're not pushing on in it. I have said that you do also have to go really fast in that car to make it feel alive, but I think there's something a tad more soulful about the car in general than this thing. I think I mentioned it earlier. I feel frustrated because I really loved the Rev Vuelta, and I kind of like Lambo these days, and I had high hopes for this thing, but it's just really fast and a bit it hasn't lit my soul on fire today, even when I've been pushing on, and my bum has gone numb. I mean, I quite like the fact my bum's gone numb, because like, at least it's not perfect. There is still some Lambo lurking somewhere in here, but it feels more like an AMG GT Black Series, or like a McLaren 765 LT, cars that really are super dull and maybe Lamb are going to be going, yes, that's what we wanted to achieve, we did it. But for me, it feels like the wrong direction. I want the Lambos to still be ludicrous in terms of sound, and I don't know, is it hard to explain? Maybe it is, I don't know. I'm going to leave it there because I'm rambling. I'm trying to pick holes in something. But yeah, it's a slight miss for me, but a fantastic car nonetheless. Hope you enjoyed the video. Yorkshire's a fantastic place. I'll be back with all of you very soon. Bye-bye for now.